Mishnah Yomi for Gimel Shvat, also February 1st, and Shabbat Bo El Paro continues in chapter 2 of Makkot. The last Mishnah here, Mishnah 8, Ki Yotze Bo. Also, we're dealing with a Rotzeach, Shegolol Ir Miklato. A killer was sentenced to go into exile for killing B'shogig by accident to the city of refuge. V'rotza on She'ir L'chabdo. The people in the city wanted to honor him. Yomar Lahem Rotzeachani. He has to tell them first, I am a killer. I didn't move to this town because I wanted to. I have to be here. I'm in exile. Amru Lo, if they told him back, Afal Piken, even so, we still want to give you this position, this honor. Yikabu Mehem, he's allowed to accept the honor. Shemar, as the pasuk says, V'zei Davar Hotzeach. This is the word of the killer. Once he's given him the word, that admitted that he is a killer, he is allowed to accept honor and position in the city. But does a killer have to pay rent? It's a machloket. Malin hayu schar l'levim. The 42 cities of refuge provided rent to Shevet Levi, to the Levim. Divir Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Meir Omer, lo hayu malin hem schar. Says, no, the Levim could not charge rent. Now, this is dealing with the 42 cities of Levim that also function as Ir Miklat. Of course, the 6 cities we learned about earlier in this parak, 3 on one side of the Jordan, 3 on the other. Those were, everyone agrees, those were free. Rent there was free for the people in exile. Now, what if the Kohen passes away and he goes back? He returns to whatever position or authority or job he had before he went to exile. Divrei Rabbi Meir. According to Rabbi Meir, Yehuda Meir, Lo haya chozer l'sorah shahaya ba. And in the Gemara, he brings a source from Scripture. He should not go back after he's gone through this process of killing by accident and being in exile. Mazel tov on finishing the second chapter. Hadron oloch elu hen hagolin. We return to you. Elu hen hagolin is the name of this chapter. It also means those who are in Galut. And everyone outside of Eretz Yisrael, every Jew outside of Eretz Yisrael, that's us. And the Gemara here, and also in Sanhedrin, Daf 38, explains Galut, exile, is a kapara. It's a correction. It's a tikkun. It helps us to fix ourselves. So as long as there's still a Jew in Galut, in exile, it means we have work to do. And of course, as long as we still have brothers and sisters in captivity as well, we have a lot of spiritual and, God willing, will be successful spiritually and militarily to bring all of our people home. Let's go on to chapter 3, Per Gimel. Ve'elu hen halokin. These are people who receive malkut, who receive lashes for their transgression. Haba alachoto, someone lives with his sister, alachot aviv, or the sister of his father, val achot imo, or the other aunt from his mother, val achot ishto, or the sister of his wife, val eshet achiv, or the sister of his brother. So remember in Yevamot, that's the one iser that would change if the brother died without children and they want to get married in Yibum instead of Chalitza. Val eshet achi aviv, or the wife of his uncle. V'alanida, or he lives with a woman who was impure because of menstruation. She had not yet been purified in the mikveh, even if it's his own wife. So far on the list, the Mefarshim point out, these are transgressions that carry with it karet, spiritual excision, which is a punishment from heaven, and also malkut. Now the next ones on the list are just malkut. And we mentioned another word for malkut is, of course, Makkot. Makos, the name of the Masechta. So we're getting back to the title topic of the Masechta. Almana leKohen Gadol, a Kohen Gadol who marries a widow, or Grusha v'chalutz leKohen Hedyot, or a regular Kohen marries a divorced woman, or a woman who underwent Chalitza instead of being married to Yibum, to her deceased husband's brother. Mamzeret Natil Yisrael, a Jewish guy who marries a mamzeret, a woman who is conceived in sin, or Netina. Netina were these tribes like the Givonim who converted to Judaism just so they wouldn't have to leave. It wasn't really a sincere conversion. The Mishnah adds the other way around. Bat Yisrael, a nice Jewish girl, Lenatin Lemamzer. She's trying to marry a Givoni or a Mamzer. There's actually a Gemara in Yevamot Daf 79 about the Givonim, where David the Melech, King David, actually made the gezerah that they cannot intermarry with regular Jewish people because they were exceptionally cruel and revengeful to the children of Shaul HaMelech. Now the Mishnah turns back to the Kohen Gadol, Almana Ugrusha. What if the Kohen Gadol marries a woman who is both an Almana, she was widowed, Ugrusha, and she was also divorced from someone else? Hayavan aleya mishum shnei shemot. The Kohen Gadol is liable for 2 crimes. He could get 2 sets of lashes for the same marriage to the same woman. But grusha v'chalutza, if she had been divorced and also done the chalitza process instead of marrying in yibum, eino chayev ela mishem echad bilvad. He's only chayev for 1 crime and 1 set of lashes. Now the reason here is because chalitza is sort of a rabbinical subset of grusha, of a actual divorce. It's very similar to divorce, as we talked about in Masechet Yevamot, but it's not exactly the same thing. It's really a subset, so he's chayev only 1 time. Yeshar kochachem, tiskule mitzvot, Shabbat shalom.